guns are few, but your tubes throw down.
Hey everybody, welcome to the review of the brand new Pan American Tier 10 destroyer, the La Pampa. La Pampa. La Pampa asked the question, what if a shimikaze and a daring, or perhaps a vampire or a druid, loved each other very, very much? The ship's only got 2 turrets up in front, and it's based on those British hulls. But it's got a whole ton of torpedoes and a torpedo reload booster, along with a funny button. So let's look at some gameplay here that kind of illustrates some of the interesting qualities and idiosyncrasies of the ship. Notice the density of the torpedoes that are dropped, and in particular, watch the mechanics here of the torpedo reload booster and the cooldown mechanic with the funny button. You can even see its impact on the smoke. What you're going to see, in fact, shows you decisions I made based on the way I thought this worked, and it's different than the way I thought it worked, and it may be different than the way you think it worked as well. Keep an eye now on the torpedo reload booster timer as highlighted by the arrow. I've hit the reload, I've hit the cooldown funny button. It's running for 30 seconds. Notice it's slightly offset from the timing on the torpedo reload booster. Now we're down to 5 seconds on the funny button. And it went from 8.8 seconds on the torpedo reload booster, and it jumped back up into the 50s. That's because the cooldown is only affecting the cooldown while the funny button is active. And I did not know that as I was playing in this match, and I had expected the torpedoes to be ready to go. The regular reload was coming back up, but I wanted these torpedoes up by now. Also, notice the limited torpedo arcs and the surprise I'm getting on my starboard side. I dump torpedoes here to the left, and I have this destroyer right on my right. He gets me, but I also managed to get him because the torpedo pivot is actually relatively fast. Anyway, it's important for you to remember that as you are considering this ship, and of course as you are playing it. Here's some more gameplay that illustrates some of the strengths of this ship. Of course, after the gameplay samples I'm going to show you, we will dive deeply but not too pedantically into a captain's build and ship's build. We'll also look at the perma camo, and of course I'll share with you my thoughts about whether or not the ship is worth getting, given the mechanics of how you get this thing. So these 2 battleships are out trying to not be farmed down by my teammates. I think this is the second game I was playing in it. These torpedoes hit reasonably hard, and with the build I've got, I was getting a decent number of floods as well. Here's a Holland that had been pestering me. My teammates seemed to be completely unwilling to shoot at. I dump 1 rack of torps just in case I can catch him not paying attention, and then I put 2 more racks into these battleships, primarily the Conqueror. Also, note the funny button, the F key, is fully charged again. I had no trouble at all keeping and getting the funny button charged while playing this ship, unlike some other ships that have them. It was pretty easy to do. Pretty solid damage there. People seem to be taking these torps. Their detectability did not appear to be much of an issue. And even though there's only 2 guns, mounted on the bow. Given their muzzle velocity and the arcs, I was able to toss these shells over the top. We're going to talk more about the guns and their specs a bit later. But if you have an opportunity to use your guns in a destroyer, definitely don't be afraid to shoot them. There are very few destroyers that don't benefit from helping out their teammates with their guns. Maybe Jaeger is one of them. So now I'm going to show you literally my very first game in the ship. 0 XP on it. And I gotta say, the relationship got off to a pretty good start. I was a bit worried looking at the support I had on this cap. I found it a bit odd that the Salem was that far away, not using any island cover. I didn't think that its radar was going to be much good, assuming it was running radar. As you can see, I'm running RDF here. You may think it's a waste of points, but I think it helps send predictive torps in a torp boat. And it also helps you know where potential adversary could be chasing you from, or where somebody might be hiding behind an island. As ever, backing into a cap like this in this situation. So there are 3 teammates here. I have some support, it seems, but not much. Oh, and I've got the druid on my side. Not happy about that. Definitely would get torn to pieces if that druid spots me. I got good concealment. The way the ship is built, it's 5.8, which at tier 10 is not horrible. It's basically Benson level of concealment. The Salem actually is shooting the DD, which is very good news. Checking on my funny button there. Again, this is the first game in the ship. Not very familiar with it. So you can see we've got 4 smokes with this build, 3 heals, and 3 torpedo reload boosters. I never found myself in any games running out of any of my resources, my consumables. I didn't play that many, but I played enough that if it seemed like I was running short, I think I would have noticed it. So my torpedoes have just reloaded normally here. And I dump some for the Jinon and especially for this Pommern, hoping maybe I can even catch the Druid. I hope you noticed the angle I had to get to in order to get those torps out. Don't normally recommend being broadside anywhere near a cap, because if there's anything that can shoot torpedoes that can hit you, and of the 3 ships out there, Pommern's the only one if it had the range, because the Jinon obviously, whoopsie, the First Blood, first game with a dev strike, its torpedoes couldn't hit me, and Druid doesn't have any. So not only do I get First Blood in my very first game, I get the first 2 kills from my team. Oh, sorry. I get 2 kills for my team, which helps set this game in motion. All right. And now for something completely different.
Oh, it's La Pampa. Oh, it's La Pampa. Oh, little La Pampa, you deliver quite a wampa. Your guns are few, but your tubes throw down. While I wait for your torps, I pray for no planes. No chance of that, 'cause the meta is pain. We went for a sail, and you move like a snail. Conceal is good, but your pen is crap. While I wait for your torps, I pray for no planes. No chance of that, 'cause the meta is pain. Can anyone here explain? We G's airplane fetish. I'm a real-life pilot, but it is even too much for me. Can't we get some new maps and original ships in-game? Copy pasta and full short bugs ain't my cup of tea. You got you a gimmick, yet another funny button. Gotta stay dark, magic tricks or trash. While I wait for your torps, I pray for no planes. No chance of that, 'cause the meta is pain. Oh, little La Pampa, you deliver quite a wampa. Your guns are few, but your tubes throw down. While I wait for your torps, I pray for no planes. No chance of that, 'cause the meta is pain.
What do you think? Have I got a Grammy in my future? I actually wrote all the words to that. Don't take that too seriously. It was just meant to be a little silly thing to hopefully catch you off guard, say, what the heck is this? Let's look at the guns now. And also hope it made you smile and brought a little bit of sunshine into your day. The guns, as you can see, I've selected in the port and filtered. They're essentially identical to Vampire 2 and Daring. The mount numbers may change ever so slightly, but we're talking 113 millimeter guns. We're talking almost identical, if not completely identical, muzzle velocity and HE damage and penetration, which is one of the weak parts of these guns, and even the same alpha damage on the AP. If as you watch me click between La Pampa and Vampire and Daring, you'll see that for all intents and purposes, notwithstanding the number of turrets there are, and maybe some of the reload speeds, these are essentially the same guns. So if you're familiar with any of those ships, you're going to be familiar with how these guns operate. There is a perma camo in development, but it didn't appear to be available, just to make you aware of it. So I'm looking here to show you that there's basically a naked ship and then just a solid color. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a custom perma camo, but it's not available at the time that this review was being prepared. And as far as flags are concerned, you can pick either the national flag of Argentina for the Argentine Navy, I should say, or that Pan American generic flag. Out of respect for the countries, I try and fly the national flags whenever possible. That's just a personal choice. I've always liked the British ships. I think they're good looking. They've got nice lines. Look at these 3 sets of 5 torpedoes. The armor, of course, is non-existent, so on the upside, you're going to get overpenned if anybody shoots AP at you, but on the downside, pretty much everybody can pen you with HE. Exceptions, perhaps, but yeah, this thing is really fragile, and you could probably end up getting your turrets destroyed, or at least disabled pretty easily. So here's how I built it. I think it's a pretty typical destroyer build, looking at emphasizing torpedoes. I'm not suggesting in a million years that this is the definitive build, but this is what I did for the games that you saw. Note that there is prop mod available, which is not typical on a UK ship. I believe that means I'm not getting, or we're not getting with La Pampa, typical UK built-in acceleration. You do get the perma bonus, which is fantastic because it's a premium ship. I found it pretty sluggish to play, even though I had prop mod on. These are the flags or the signals that I ran. And this is, again, a pretty typical destroyer with torpedo focus build. There's some options here that you could do differently, but preventative maintenance is pretty typical. Last stand's pretty typical. Survivability experts typical. Concealment, so full concealment build. Again, I go RDF. Superintendent here, I might be able to take this off, but I wanted to have the extra opportunity to do it. And then I put the other points into speed and flooding chance. And with the one remaining point I had, I threw it into the turrets. You could easily go adrenaline rush and even reload on the torpedoes, make some other choices. But these are the choices I made for the testing that I was doing. So you end up with a 5.8 concealment, as I had mentioned before. With a speed boost, it goes 35.7 knots, which is not that fast for a fast Tier 10 ship. Good rudder shift at 4.2, I guess. The AA defense is non-existent. You get the 15 torpedoes with 10.5 kilometer range, decent alpha damage, decent speed with this build, decent concealment or low detectability. Only the 4 barrels of your guns with 12.3 kilometers of range, but decent dispersion out there. 3.3 second reload, and it's not going to get any better with no adrenaline rush. This is not a super heal. This is a regular heal or a decent heal, maybe a slightly enhanced. You get the torpedo reload booster, and you get these 4 smokes. They're kind of conventional smokes. They're not UK-style smokes. Not great. Unlimited number of repairs that come back pretty fast. And then there's the funny button. This reduces the cooldown on consumables, but only while it's active. Keep that in mind. I had no trouble filling that up.
Good.
These are, these signals obviously lean into the strengths of the ship, so make your own choices if you've got the signals to burn. Otherwise, they're always optional in a battle. So how do you get La Pampa? The company says that it's going to be available in an event for tokens. It will cost 380 tokens, and there's kind of some confusing language here, so bear with me, but listen pretty carefully because this could be very expensive and there's some FOMO going on here, aka fear of missing out. So, available for 380 tokens, and you can get up to 510 of those tokens if you purchase random bundles at 999 doubloons a piece. You can also get up to 100 tokens for coal and up to 20 tokens through combat missions. So some of those tokens can be obtained without spending cash money. There's also going to be a 20% discount coupon, according to the company, during the first 3 days of the event. The language doesn't say if it's off of a cash price to just purchase it outright, so I would interpret that to mean it's a 20% discount on spending the money in doubloons to get the tokens in the bundles if you do it during the first 3 days of the event. So it's another one of these let's hide the actual cost through these various currency exchange type mechanics. Not a big fan of these things. Be careful when you're spending your money or spending doubloons that you've saved up. There are Christmas crates coming up, of course, around the end of the year. So is La Pampa worth spending any money on at all? If you like playing relatively stealthy torpedo boats, I actually enjoyed the games. If you like the British type of destroyer play, I do, and I kind of enjoyed that. Is it worth spending the kind of money that they're talking about here to either go for the upfront cost at the 20% discount or keep gambling, which is what the doubloon bundle package is? That's essentially going to be a gambling because you're not going to apparently know how many tokens you're going to get in those random bundles as you go through the line. I don't encourage people to do any gambling with this game whatsoever, or just generally. So I would say hold on to your cash when it comes to that. But if you really, really love British destroyers, If you really love playing a stealthy torpedo boat, you might enjoy this. She packs a punch. She's got a decent amount of utility. No hydro, though, and the heel is only okay. It's not terrible, and it's not a super heel. They actually had given it a super heel or a form of that originally, and they ended up nerfing that down to the heel that the ship has now during testing. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments, and actually, let's see how many of you were paying attention. During the song portion, what is the word that describes the current ship World of Warships meta? Let me know in a comment down below. I really would love to see those. And folks, if you enjoyed this, give it a like, please. Drop a subscription. Maybe buy me a cup of coffee. The link is down below, or some lunch. I do put some effort into this. It may not look like it, but with the song, for example, I literally wrote every lyric there and spent a lot of time trying to come up with exactly the right musical performance and melody. So if you appreciate it, I would appreciate it if you would, if you've got the means anyway, to show me some love back. And of course, don't forget to catch me live over on Twitch, where I stream Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Pacific time. I am a community contributor for World of Warships. I've got giveaways every stream, and I'd appreciate having you hang out with me. It would really help me as well if after watching this video and leaving a comment and a like, you hit the subscribe button if I've earned it, and you watched one or more videos and did the same on those. Anyway, I hope you and yours fare well. Thanks for being a part of this community. Bye-bye.